Hi, I'm Paola Ranova, and today we're going to talk about family constellations. What are family constellations? I get asked this question a lot. So we're going to talk about what they are, what they're for, and how they happen. But before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, to comment what you thought about it below this video, to share this with people that you know are going to benefit from this content, who need to know more about constellations. We have a more in-depth video that really dives into the theory of constellations here on YouTube, so you can watch that as well. You have all the references here. Don't forget to also subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and to hit the notification button so you know whenever we have new content for you. It's going to come to you as soon as possible, right? So what are family constellations? They can be defined as an energy healing modality to address problems you're having in the present moment. And how do you address these problems of the present moment? That's the uniqueness of constellations. That's what makes them so interesting and innovative, because we are going to look at the collective soul of the family that we belong to. So in the constellations perspective, we do not only have an individual soul, we also belong to a collective soul called the family soul. So in the Cardinal Method of Life Connection, which is the system I developed to encourage people to heal their souls, to expand their consciousness, and to bring the joy of life to their paths, right? Constellations are one of the pillars of the Cardinal Method. So in the Cardinal Method, I like to call the family soul, I like to compare it to an ocean where we're all immersed in. And this water of this ocean is shared by every member of the family. And this ocean of the family soul is permeated by the stories of all our ancestors. So what are constellations telling us? That the stories of our ancestors are transmitted to us, and they're present in the cells of our bodies. Each and every cell of your body holds the story of all your ancestors. So we do not only inherit biological physicality, we also inherit their emotional stories, their emotional vibrations. So your individual unconscious mind has access to all the stories of your ancestors. So if something painful or unfinished business happened in generations before you, anything that has happened before you were born is transmitted to you through the DNA. So what is the logic here? The problems you have in your life now, in the present moment, let's say you have a financial issue, or you have a professional issue, or relationship issues, or things that don't seem to solve themselves ever, like a pattern that keeps repeating itself. In the constellation's perspective, you, or maybe it's your child, you can see whenever you have a problem or your child has a problem, something in the ancestral story needs to be seen. There's a root cause for that problem in the deep unconscious mind of your family. We repeat the stories of our ancestors without realizing it. And a constellation is a place where people with the proper training can conduct a healing by being able to see what is the ancestral root cause of the present moment problem that you have. So you need to be very mindful, because people literally need to be very trained to do this. I call constellations surgeries in the soul. I've been doing this for over 6 years now with the Cardinal Method. And with the Cardinal Method, we always use crystals in the constellations, because crystals make it very laser beam. The information surfaces in a constellation field, as we call it. And with crystals, it's more accurate, it's faster, it's less emotionally painful too. So what we do in constellations is find the ancestral root cause of a problem in the present moment that may be happening in your life, or maybe in your child's life. In my experience, the most beautiful constellations healings I've ever seen were mothers for their children. So a parent can constellate their child. If your child's having issues, It's not the child that's going to receive the constellation treatment. The parent will create the constellation for the child, right? We'll have a constellation for the child. So the story is, in a nutshell, unconsciously, we repeat stories from our families. And these patterns keep repeating generation after generation until someone addresses these patterns, right? So when you feel like you're being called, pulled to have your own constellation, do it, because this is ancestral healing, and it's also liberating everything for the next generations too. So what are constellations for in a nutshell? To release, to dissolve obstacles from your life. That's what it is. And the ancestral origin of these obstacles is addressed. So what we're doing, as I said, is liberating repetitive patterns that may be going from generation to generation. You can stop generational life scripts that are not that great, right? There's a way to do this, because in the constellation protocol, as we call it, we can truly heal our souls, not only individually, but also systemically, collectively. So how does it work in practical terms? A group of people is formed, and one person who's a professional in the field will conduct the constellation healing. So whenever a group is formed, and as I said, I've been doing this for over 6 years now, we have constellations every week in English and Portuguese. It used to be present, and now it's all online. And we've been doing this for 2 years now, and it's amazing. The online constellations are powerful with the Cardinal Method. So a group of people will gather, and one person will conduct the constellation, right? Will have the proper training to see what needs to be seen in an organized way in the unconscious mind. And everyone who gathers for a group, every week there's a different group of people, but whenever you join a constellation, you and everyone else there in the group will have something in common, even if you don't know each other. So strangers may feel a familiar pain. So the painful patterns, the not so great patterns in our lives, they're pretty non-original, right? Originality and awesomeness and the joy of life is not repeated. They're very unique moments, but patterns are shared by a lot of people. So financial problems, a lot of people have financial problems, right? Professional obstacles, relationship issues. So whenever a group is gathered, everyone there will have something in common. And the person who wishes to have his or her constellation will be able to see his or her story, and that's going to ripple effect on everybody who's present, because stories heal the soul. So if you see the healing, if you witness the healing of a person, even if you don't know that person, it's going to resonate in your energy field and you'll benefit from that healing. So there are 3 ways to participate in constellations: to have your own constellation, to watch in silence, that's very healing, and you're also there not only healing yourself and your family, because as I said, it ripple effects, right? In the Cardinal Method, I call the soul water. So water ripple effects. It's going to help you and your family just to witness a constellation process. And you can also participate representing people and energies in the field. So you may be called to represent a mother, or an energy of anger, or the energy of love, or the energy of prosperity, right? We don't control what happens in the field, but it's always very soothing, and it's always about releasing obstacles. And let me just say, this is not a religion. This is an energetic modality in which you tune in to an energetic field. It's called a morphogenic field. If you want to get more technical, as I said, we have a video that dives in, right, about constellations. You can just go straight to that video to learn more about the theory. So what happens, we're not incorporating spirits. We're just expanding our consciousness to tune in to a story that's being told by that field, by that group of people who's gathered together to bring the story of ancestors of the person who's having his or her constellation. So as I said, we've been having these processes for over 6 years now. Every week we have a group of people gathered. It's amazing. You're very welcome to join us. If you're interested in participating in a constellation or to have your own constellation, just go to our website. All the information is there. You can also ask questions, send us an email, comment below this video. We'll be more than happy to help you with that and to really bring you into this beautiful journey. There are many people who've been benefiting from constellations, thousands up to this day. So it's always wonderful to see more people joining this path. And again, one thing that I cannot forget to mention, the Cardinal Method is very connected to crystals. So even if you're watching this video and you've been to one of our constellations presently or online, maybe you don't know this, but green quartz is the master crystal to help any kind of healing. And constellation soul healing is really, really catapulted. It's really exponential when green quartz is there with us. So I always have green quartz in constellation fields so that the healing is more powerful and brings more joy, right? So crystals always add to the beauty and to the healing. And green quartz is the master crystal of healing in the Cardinal Method. So you can go grab one, and if you don't have one, see if it finds you, because crystals find us, right? It really does help a lot with this kind of work. So thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to comment what you thought about this video. Share it with people you know need to hear about this or are interested in this content. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you do that. I'll be so happy to have more people with us. And really, constellations are very, very powerful. If you like this topic, we can dive deeper into this. I'll be so happy to do that. Thank you for your presence, and I'll see you soon.